Hey, what is going on, guys? Lee Sanders here. You're checking out the RCWR show dropped in Thursday night of July the 2nd, 2020. What is going on, man? I know many of you are gearing up for the 4th of July holiday. All I can say to that is happy holiday. It's so funny because I was at work today and there was a decent amount of people that were wishing me a happy 4th of July. And not to kind of sound like Joe Pesci and be saying, what the fuck do you mean happy? What is so goddamn fucking happy? Not to go in that kind of direction, but seriously, of all the 4th of July holidays that I can recall, at least within my lifetime, there isn't exactly anything to be happy about. At least for 2020. At least as far as Independence Day 2020. Yeah. I mean, take your pick. We got this whole coronavirus bullshit that's still going on, as many states are now saying, wait a minute, we opened up a little bit too soon. We need to pump the brakes a little bit. We need to, sorry folks, sorry, we know we're pissing you off, but we fucked this up. We got to scale back once again. Sorry. We tried to listen to you, and this is what happened. Greed got the best of us. So you see a lot of states in the U.S. scaling back. See, not exactly to be happy going into 4th of July, right? All right, so you got that. And then you've got these police officers that are running around abusing the fuck out of their authority. They are abusing the fuck out of the powers that were bestowed upon them, and they are just, take your pick. It seems like every time you turn on the news, at least guaranteed once a week, there is some police officer that you would think would know better after seeing his other colleagues get into some type of trouble. No. This knucklehead of an officer gets in trouble as well. So we got this whole thing that's going on. We've got immigrants that are being ripped apart from their children and other family members because of some, that's all I'm gonna say. All right, DACA and all that. Okay, so I'm keeping it real here. Then you've got my brothers and sisters that are going through this whole bullshit and just treat us like human beings. Treat us like we are fucking equal. You know, we're talking about the whole racial equality for all and everything. So we got all of these things that's going on top of the All Lives Matter or the Black Lives Matter movement. We got all of this shit. Good shit, mind you, that's going on. I don't mean to say shit like it's a bad thing, but you know what I mean. But we got all of these things that's going on right now. And I'm sorry, all I'm supposed to be thinking about this weekend is burger on a grill, chicken on a grill, and I'm sorry, that's the least thing that's on my mind right now. So I kind of found it a little bit funny that some people were wishing me a happy 4th, and all I kept saying was, happy holiday. One person asked me flat out, are you going to be celebrating the holiday? How are you going to be celebrating? I said, I don't celebrate the holidays. Of course, I'm being a dick. My girl knows me better. She knows that's a nice short answer, because the long-winded answer is like literally what I just put out there to you guys. And I would have expected this one person that asked me to know better, because it was a sister. And it's like, come on, man. This ain't the time to be. I get where some people are kind of coming from, though. If you're one of those type of people, Lee, all due respect, dog, I've been cooped up in the house during this whole pandemic, man. The weather's starting to get nice in my area. They're loosening up a little bit on the restrictions. I feel where you're coming from. I really do. I mean, I'm not trying to sound like a Debbie Downer, but for me personally, at least this year, as far as the 4th goes, it's just another fucking day. In and out. That's all I'm concerned about. Be it in and out. The president over here, just kind of give you guys a little bit of an idea of what's going on here in the nation's capital. The president over here has decided that there are going to be fireworks. He's going to have planes and the whole 9 yards.
It's going to be huge. Let me tell you, folks. It's going to be great. You guys are going to enjoy yourselves. You're going to have a great time. Let me tell you. If anybody knows how to throw a party, it's me. If anybody knows how to bring people together during fireworks, Planes, lots of planes. There's gonna be really cool planes that's gonna go above your head, planes that's gonna go around you. There's gonna be planes that's gonna probably go underneath you because after all, I know about planes that are invisible. Great nation, we have invisible planes.
But the president over here, he's decided, no, there is going to be fireworks. We're going to have airplanes flying over the White House and all of that. So I just imagine the thousands of political group organizations that are all conspiring online, trying to, hey, are you going to go? Let's get this trending. And it turns out, no, not going to show up because they want to, they want to stick it to the president and his administration and everything. I wouldn't be surprised if there were organizations that were trying to set that up right now. Quite honestly, I would not be surprised one little bit. But the president, that's what he's doing. I don't know how it is in your neck of the woods, but the president, as far as he's concerned, there's going to be fireworks in the nation's capital. Oh joy. Oh joy. Oh joy is all I have to say. So we were supposed to do a show Monday night for you guys. True fucking story. You cannot make this shit up. So Monday, I kind of held it off for 2 weeks because I was down with some type of a weird, I won't say it was a flu. It was some type of a weird bug though. There was something that was going on with me for 2 consecutive weekends. And my fucking, hey Gino, what's up Gino? And for 2 consecutive weekends, I would have, these were my symptoms: significant loss of appetite, did not want to eat. I had to force feed myself. So I would nibble on maybe some crackers, have some orange juice or something like that. But I was force feeding myself. 'Cause I think the longest I went was maybe 3 days without eating. My bowel movement was really bad. I had a case of the runs. And so there were, I think, 2 consecutive Mondays. Tams would know, but I was supposed to go to Tam's job. She works in the healthcare system and all that, dentist office and everything. So I was actually supposed to go to the dentist office, and I was supposed to pick up my new set of refinement trays for my Invisalign treatment, because now I'm pretty much at that finish line. I could have been out of these a lot sooner, but because the pandemic went down, my teeth were exactly where they needed to be. But there was, because I stayed in one tray for a significant period of time, sadly, there was some additional movement that should not have been happening that did go down. And so when things finally started to open back up again, and I went, doc did a check on my teeth. Yeah, you're going to need refinement trays. We'll be able to correct that, no problem. All right, so what does this mean? How much longer am I going to have to do trays? You're probably going to have to do 2, maybe 3 months. It's like, but you'll be done. Like, okay, all right, cool. So there were 2 Mondays in June that I had to go to the dentist office, pick up my refinement trays and everything. Didn't do it because I had this weird bug that was going on. And so, wouldn't you know it, for a 3rd consecutive Monday, I got hit with it again. And my girl's going, you really got to make an appointment and go see a doctor. We got to figure out what's going on with you, because the fact that this keeps happening, I'm like, I don't know. I was like, I don't know what the hell's going on. So I said, here's what was really weird though. Leading up to that Monday, or this past Monday, I should say, because this was the 3rd time that I came that close to saying, okay, I can't make it. But leading up to this past Monday, the only thing that was out of the norm, I had ordered from Pizza Hut. You guys know the new commercial Pizza Hut's doing. Pizza Hut's basically going, hey, we make it hot and fresh at our restaurant, and we seal it, and that seal is broken by you. So order with confidence. That's their whole thing. So I remember ordering Pizza Hut over the weekend, and I said to my girl, I said, do me a favor, try this pizza and tell me what you think about it, because I swear the mozzarella is bad. And she goes, okay. All right, let me know what you think. I got a stuffed crust pizza. Okay, so it was weird because the stuffed crust, the pizza in the stuffed crust, it tastes bad. But the pizza just, outside of the stuffed crust, that was fine. Kind of weird, right? Anyway, so my girl has some, and she's like, no, I'm okay. I didn't taste anything weird. I'm like, are you sure? She's like, yeah, there was nothing wrong with it. I'm like, okay. Like, maybe it's just me. Next day, I have another slice. Like, something tastes off here. I'm kind of like Wolverine when it comes to my senses. I mean, you see how big my nose is, okay? So I can usually detect things, taste things that other people can't pick up usually. So I'm like, okay, something is still off. But I remember that after eating that food, particularly, I was not feeling good after that. So maybe something was up with that food. I don't know. But going to this past Monday, I had the weird fucking bug again. And it's like, oh, what the fuck. But I sucked it up. I went in. I picked up one of my refinement trays. And I thought it was just going to be something as simple as pick up, you're out. Oh, no. We want to put new attachments on you. I'm going, oh, fucking great. New attachments. Oh, joy. But then my primary care doctor, he comes in and he's like, how you doing, Mr. Sanders? I'm like, I'm doing pretty good. He's like, okay, open up real quick. Let me see something. So he goes in there. He checks out my mouth and he goes, nah, with the attachments that you already have, you don't need any more attachments. If anything, let me just sand down some of your teeth so I can make a little bit of spacing so that these trays can do what they're supposed to do for you over the course of the next several weeks. And then you're out of here. I'm like, okay. So that's what he did. And he go, all right, see you in 11 weeks. I'm going, all right, thanks, doc. And so here's where things get really, what the fuck. This all ties into Monday now. You guys, I hope you're staying with me so far, right? I like telling you these little side stories. So I put the refinement trays in my mouth. And for those of you that remember how I sounded when I first began my Invisalign treatment, I sounded like Bane from The Dark Knight Rises. That shit was, got to this for everybody, got to this for you, the people, it's all sitting down. You know, so I went back to sounding like that. And I just said, holy shit. I was like, there's no way I can do a show Monday night. I'm like, fuck this. And Tam's like, what's wrong? I'm like, you don't hear? She's like, no. It's like, I'm forcing myself to try to talk normal here. I'm like, and these trays that they got me in now, first of all, they cut them very good. The last batch, I don't know what it was, but the way that and I know they molded them off of what was going on, but for me, they weren't cut just right. These, they cut perfectly fine. And for the top part, I'll show you guys next time once I'm out of these, but they got a pair, the way that they got these cut, the top part, it's got like, for those of you that have had refinement trays, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's got like a heel on the back, just on the back, the upper part of the teeth, the two front teeth. There's like heel parts that's in them. And so that, on top of how nicely made they were, because I mean, it really fits pretty damn good. I was just walking around. It's like, nah, that's not going to work. So I had to spend a couple of days relearning how to talk with these damn things on again. So that would have been an excruciating show to put you guys through. So rather than have you guys go through that, yeah. So that brings us to Thursday night. But now that everything's back on to normal, I mean, as far as regular scheduling go, we should be okay going into next week. I promise you guys. But I did check out a big bulk of the stuff that was going on in between. A lot of shit we can get into. Now look, I know with the holiday coming up, a lot of you guys are going to be busy. For those of you that maybe are going to be traveling, spending time with your loved ones, you know, hope you are able to get to and from safely, no problems whatsoever. I do want to have this be a condensed show as possible since we're on the eve of the holiday weekend. So my goal right now, and I got the recorder going here, my goal is to give you guys at least an hour and 15 minutes of content. And then whatever we're not able to talk about, me and Tams are actually going to be putting our heads together this weekend, and we will be doing a wrestling with the topics for you guys. At this point, it's going to be on a Sunday. So, be on the lookout for that. But whatever I'm not able to cover tonight, just know we got the Sunday show that we can pretty much get into. So kick back, relax, enjoy yourselves, enjoy that nice, tall, cool one. By the way, pushing a new shirt, as you guys can probably see. I had teased this on social media, and it came in the mail. This has a funny ass story to it as well. It's not a long-winded story, and it actually ties into you guys because it's something cool that we're going to be doing for you guys. So I told you guys a couple of weeks ago that I had ordered my WrestleMania 3 shirt. Macho Man Randy Savage taking on Ricky the Dragon Steamboat here. There you guys go. And it came in the mail. Oh, God, I think it came in the mail last week. I was so fucking happy. True story again. I'm going to give you guys the summarized version as best as humanly possible. But, because I know some of you guys, you like it when I go into stories and all that. But there's other people, they don't like long-winded stories and all that. So, they want the wrestling. They want to boop, 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 boop. That's all they want is the wrestling. They don't really care for personality. Whatever, dude. But anyway, so I ordered this shirt at the same time that I ordered the Undertaker Last Ride shirt. The Undertaker Last Ride shirt, that actually came to me. It was mailed out on June 3rd before its official street release date, which I think was around June the 15th. So I got that shirt. And like I said, I don't know how it was for everybody else. If everybody else had got their shirts as early as me, but I got that Undertaker shirt pretty damn early. It was shipped out on the 3rd. I got that son of a bitch around the 5th or the 6th, okay? So, my WrestleMania 3 shirt, I was expecting that to be with it. It was not there. I'm going, what the hell is going on here? So, as it got closer to the street release date for the WrestleMania 3 shirt, I went on ahead and I actually called WWE shop and was going, hey, where's my shit? So they go, oh, well, we're seeing that credit card that ends in 66666. It looks like it was declined. I'm like, I don't have a credit card that ends in 66666. Like, what are you talking about? And she's like, yeah, well, it says here. I'm like, no. And I don't know if you guys have ever used Canara, but apparently WWE has partnered up with Canara. I told you guys about this before a couple of weeks ago on the show. Basically, you can set up Canara. It's free to do, doesn't cost you anything. And basically, when it comes to checkout, you got some options. You can either pay with a credit card, pay with a gift card, promotional code or some shit like that. And then there's an option to pay with Canara. And Canara basically sets it up so that you can pay whatever you're supposed to pay in installments. So take, for instance, when I had got the Undertaker WrestleMania 3 shirt, my total for that order was a little bit over $50. And by going with Canara, they basically were saying, trying to readjust my chair here. Give me a second here, guys. So basically with Canara, it's been adjusted, not by me, by Goldilocks. That's what I'm calling her, Goldilocks. I like my chair a particular way. All right, now I'm nice and comfortable here. And so it's like $56. So basically Canara is saying, okay, so, this is your total. Hey, we're going to take out $9, $10 from your account every 2 weeks. Like, okay, all right, sweet, good deal. Till it's paid off. No interest. Like, okay, cool. But I got one shirt. I didn't get the other one. So what's going on? So I got WWE telling me that. I'm going, I don't have a credit card that ends in. And I told them about Canara. And they said, okay, well, sounds like what probably happened, it was an issue with Canara. Sounded like they didn't capture your correct information. I said, yeah, that's weird. It's like, because I got the Taker shirt. It's like, well, we're not sure what to tell you. So it's like, but we could take your order right now for that WrestleMania shirt. I'm like, yeah, but I kind of want to get it through Canara. It's like, okay, well, we can't help you out with that. You're going to have to go through Canara again and go through our site that way, if you want to get the Canara hookup. I said, okay, all right, cool. So that's what I ended up doing. Stay with me here. Stay with me here. This is where it gets very interesting. And this is how it ties into you guys. So, as soon as I put in the order for the WrestleMania 3 shirt, I wake up the next day, that shirt got shipped out. I'm going, wow, that service with a smile. Okay, great. About 2 days later, I get that shirt. Get the email from WWE, hey, your shirt's on the way, da, 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 da. I'm like, okay, great. Then I get another email from WWE Shop. Hey, your order is on the way. I'm going, the fuck are they talking about? It's like, I'm good. Like, I think, like, I forget something. So I have another WrestleMania 3 shirt. Here it is, in the plastic here. Let me put my my real-time camera on so I can see. So here it is right here. So WWE sent me another one. I wish I could say I got this for free. I'm actually paying for this through Canara. I got another one. It is a large. If anyone wants this shirt, let me know. What I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to have some type of a cool contest set up. I don't know how I'm going to do the contest, but this is going to be up for grabs. So, you know, if you guys are interested, let me know so at least I can get the ball rolling on who's interested. And I can just automatically, you know, you're already in the contest. You don't even need to ask. You're automatically in the contest. But I'll have it figured out by next week. So, yeah. So, something cool for you guys. I know we haven't given away any cool items in a good minute there. So, always, you know, trying to pay it forward to you guys there. All right, so Fyter Fest. You know, don't worry. I'll talk a little bit about Raw. I'll talk a little bit about the other shows, but let's deal with the meat and potatoes first. AEW Fyter Fest, WWE NXT. They did their bash at the beach. Both of these shows, they're both two-parters. They're going head to head for the next 2 weeks here with their respective themed episodes. I got to tell you, now I know the ratings. Now, sadly, I saw the ratings, so I can't come on here and I can't go. I did very good in dodging the ratings numbers, but sadly, I opened up my Twitter. One of my buddies was putting the news out there, and that pretty much was it. That shit began with so-and-so defeated, and like, well, there we go. I gotta tell you, I know the ratings say one thing. I mean, for those of you that, you know, you don't know, I'm about to tell you, spoiler alert. As far as the ratings go, NXT, once again, beats AEW. I know this is really going to have fans lose their shit, especially the hardcore AEW fans going, what the fuck is going on here? How can WWE be lucky 2 weeks in a row here? I gotta tell you, I was very complimentary last week when I put over AEW. I felt AEW had the better product. Going into this week, I gotta tell you, once again, I felt AEW had the better product. That's just me. I don't know how it was for you guys personally, but nowadays, when I'm sitting down and I'm watching all of the wrestling shows, nowadays, I'm beginning to go through my DVR Tuesday night going into Wednesday morning, and then whatever I haven't finished watching, I pick back up Wednesday night going into early Thursday morning after I get in from work and everything. And usually Wednesday night going into Thursday morning, I catch up on NXT, I catch up on AEW. Sometimes Impact Wrestling is part of that package as well, sometimes, but mostly I catch up long after you guys are done watching it in real time. Usually late Wednesday night going into Thursday morning is when I watch NXT and AEW. So for me, I felt, put it to you this way, I found myself, as far as fast forwarding goes with AEW, only time I picked up my remote was when I wasn't trying to do the whole picture-in-picture. There was some stupid-ass commercial I could honestly give two shits not about. That was it. Meanwhile, NXT, I found myself really going through the motions and fast-forwarding through a lot of stuff. I just was not entertained. Now, when I say I wasn't entertained, what was playing before my eyes wasn't captivating me for the entire duration that, okay, this match is going on or whatever. It wasn't anything like that. I don't know what it was. I wish I could really put my finger on it, but kudos to WWE. They did it for a second week in a row. Hey, that's good for them. But for me, I honestly felt that the Fyter Fest card, I felt that was pretty fucking solid. They did really good. Looking forward to seeing what they do with next week. Both shows, honestly, both shows. I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to be able to do. Now, real quick, before we go into Fyter Fest, AEW Dark Results. Quick results right here. First off, Max Caster had took on Sean Spears. That match, hey, pretty much a squash match there. Spears picking up the W. Lance Archer took on Pineapple Pete. I think you guys know the results of that one. Now that should be pretty obvious. Also, Griff Garrison had took on Ricky Starks. Bradley Pierce faced Scorpio Sky. Allie and Brandy Rhodes took on Kaylin King and Skylar Moore. Butcher and the Blade were in action. They took on Fuego del Sol and Lowrider. You also had Brandon Cutler and Peter Avalon taking on the Young Bucks. So that was everything that had went down for AEW Dark this week. Going on to Fyter Fest, though. Fyter Fest, pretty damn good card. Pretty damn good card from top to bottom. Gotta tell you, the Jurassic Express taking on MJF and Wardlow. Great fucking opener. Love that. I used to not really give two fucks about the Lucha Express, although I was always complimentary of Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy, but I tell you what, with the exception of Marco Stunt, I know he has his fans. Marco Stunt still doesn't really do anything for me, but for the most part, this match, it was good. Sloppy in quite a few areas, I gotta tell you. Sloppy in quite a few areas. Wardlow really came out of this as a legit beast. He really came out of this as a big man. And seeing him, Luchasaurus, go head to head, I found that to be solid entertainment at its finest. I would love to see those two men engaged in some type of short-term program. I don't know if AEW can make it happen, but this match, it felt more like a pay-per-view type of match as opposed to you're watching a TV match. It was great work from everybody. Great work from everybody. MJF, for me, MJF went into that motherfucker and he was like the Shawn fucking Michaels of this. He was the glue that just basically had everything just... No, you know what? That's a bad analogy. I'm not going to say MJF was the glue. But you know what? If you took MJF out of it, yeah. What I will say is, just to kind of use a food analogy, I'm a big boy. I know a thing or two about food. Hey, I am slimming down as well. Happy to say to you guys. I have began working my new job weighing almost 250 pounds. Now, smart dieting, a little bit of exercising and everything, and I get a pretty good workout at work. Now I'm down to 235. So, yay for me. Again, my goal before I'm 40, which is coming up a couple of months, my goal is to get down to 200 pounds or under. 200 pounds or under. And I got a lot of motivation. One, that milestone of a birthday, and then two, the wedding coming about next year. So, but yay me, just thought I'd give you guys an update and, let you guys know what was going on with that. But just to use a food analogy, MJF is kind of like that one missing ingredient for that burger, that pizza, that pasta. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Without it, it just doesn't make that food taste magnifique. MJF really, really held that shit together. I personally felt, but that was a damn good matchup with all of those teams. Got to give it up to them. Also, go a little bit forward here into the card here. Winners of that one, by the way. Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy. And you kind of knew this was going to happen because the commentators, once it was put out there, they kind of spoiled this, I personally felt. Because as soon as, I don't know if it was Jim Ross or if it was Shivani, but one of them had talked about how MJF and Wardlow together, they're 17-2 basically, and you're going, huh, okay, why are we just bringing that up nonchalantly all of a sudden? We weren't bringing that up previous episodes of Dynamite, so why are we diving into that type of talk now? So they kind of gave you a little bit of a prelude of what was to come. Next matchup, the AEW Women's Championship match, Penelope Ford taking on Sheeta. I asked you guys on Twitter at the RCWR show, pretty much after I got in from work, I said, how's NXT, how's Dynamite? And a few of you said, hey, Dynamite, pretty damn good. The women's match in particular, pretty damn good. Good shit. I got to agree. Penelope Ford and Sheeta, that was a fucking fantastic match. As far as one of the biggest takeaways from Fyter Fest, I know we got part 2 coming up and everything, but just what stands out to me the most right now, Penelope Ford, Sheeta. That was, without a shadow of doubt, a fantastic matchup. And if I can go a step further, I honestly would have to say between WWE's Raw, SmackDown, NXT, Impact Wrestling, AEW, that rotation, I gotta tell you, within the past, I would say, I'll go as far as to say the past 60 days. I won't say 90 days, because that's really pushing my memory. But I would say definitely within the past 60 days, what Penelope Ford and Sheeta did, one of the best matches that stands out to me thus far. For me to say that, that should mean a lot to those of you in particular that haven't watched Fyter Fest yet. But, these two girls, look, I've always been very complimentary of Penelope Ford, and I know it's kind of rare. I talk about her. I know it's kind of rare. I really put the spotlight on her, and I really go above and beyond, to really talk about her and everything. If you recall, one of the things that I had said about Penelope Ford a while back, I said she's pretty damn good, in the ring. She's charismatic. I told you guys she reminds me of a younger Maurice, Miz's wife. But you could make the argument, but is a better wrestler than Maurice. And this is a girl that definitely practices her craft. And I'm telling you, she is fucking awesome. She is fucking awesome. Sheeta is awesome as well. But, for me personally, look, I love the fact that now we've got Sheeta, doing these little spots where she's talking in English and you got the English caption popping up on your screen and everything. First of all, why not just have her speak her native language? There's nothing wrong with that. Let her speak her native language, but whatever. But she's a good champion. Don't get me wrong. Sheeta is a damn good champion. The opponent that she had in Penelope Ford, that was great. This match, I felt, really had helped propel Penelope Ford even more. Because now you can kind of walk away from this match and saying, you know what? It might have not been Penelope Ford's night, but man, with the type of match that she had against Sheeta, you just never say never. At any moment, Penelope Ford could be right there in the fucking title picture. And that is a woman that definitely, for many years to come, she could definitely, I will definitely say here and now, officially tonight, keep your eyes on Penelope Ford. If you haven't had your eyes on her up until this point, you definitely want to going forward. I definitely feel that Penelope Ford, before all the controversial shit had went down there with Tessa Blanchard and everything, Tessa Blanchard was untouchable. I personally feel that with Penelope Ford can and will reach the levels of a Tessa Blanchard. I can see her, and she will reach the levels of a Sasha Banks, a Bailey, Almost kind of maybe teasing to a certain degree of Charlotte Flair. I can see her getting to that level. And with two great cornerstone pieces of talent in Ford and Cheetah for your women's division, that's all I gotta say. And speaking of the women's division and everything, I talked about it on the RCWR show. Believe it or not, for those of you that are used to just getting the free content, there actually was a show that was done last week. There was a Patreon version show, because I know you guys are probably looking at this show and you're looking at the last time we did a show. We actually did do a show in between. It just went straight to our Patreon members only. So do consider being a Patreon member. You get to check out bonus and exclusive content, which reminds me, we will get into some Patreon shout outs in a little bit. Shout out some of our sponsors as well. But to follow up on what I had said there with regards to Tessa Blanchard, it's kind of unfortunate what all had went down with her and Impact Wrestling. And, you understand Impact Wrestling's position, and you definitely understand Tessa Blanchard's position. There really is no winners or losers right here when you really stop and think about it here. I mean, you could even bring up the question, well, what about the fans? Do the fans leave? Do they lose in any way? And I would say, no, they don't lose in any way, because Tessa Blanchard is going to be acquired by some other wrestling promotion out there. It's just a matter of when and where. But going back to that whole point about cornerstone of wrestling, women's wrestling and everything, look, AEW, you got a hell of a talent that's out there on the free market right now in Tessa Blanchard. And if you really, really want to add some name value to your women's roster, and you really want to build a very strong women's division, it's bad enough. There used to be a time where it used to be dogged upon. AEW's women's division was dogged upon. Now it's starting to come off as if it's starting to get a little bit of respect. Well, you want to put more validity into it and everything, you could definitely take 2 steps forward in the right direction by hiring somebody like Tessa Blanchard. And I mean, it makes a perfect fit when you really stop and think about it. I mean, after all, Tully's down there and everything, so it makes all the sense in the world to eventually see her head on over there. Will it happen though? Remains to be seen. I mean, your guess is as good as mine, but it'd be weird to not see her in AEW. It really would. It really, really fucking would. Don't have her go down there. Don't have her do that whole shit like what was going on in Impact Wrestling, and she's trying to become the world heavyweight champion and all that. No. Don't have her do any of that shit. Just have her go into that bad boy and just have her fuck all the women up in that fucking division, ultimately become the new AEW women's champion. Some of the matchups that she can have down there off the break, man. I mean, shit. I think her and Nyla Rose would do some pretty damn cool ass shit. I could definitely see her and Abaddon under the right type of storyline. I think her and Abaddon would fucking... Speaking of Abaddon, I got some beef. I got some beef with AEW. And it kind of ties into Fyter Fest and everything. Don't worry, I didn't forget about Fyter Fest here. But how do you have Abaddon do her AEW Dynamite premiere, and she goes over instantly? Just a overnight sensation. How do you do that? And then you don't follow up on the next 2 episodes. How do you not do that? And you don't follow up going into Fyter Fest. How do you not do that? That's mind-boggling to me. And 8 out of 10, Fyter Fest Part 2 is probably already in the books. I wish under different circumstances and everything, I wish, they kept saying Nyla Rose is going to be in action for Part 2 of Fyter Fest. Man, I tell you what, I would so love it if Abaddon was the person that Nyla Rose had faced, and they could have a nice little back and forth, but Abaddon goes over Nyla Rose. Just saying, that would be pretty fucking badass. You know, we were talking about Tessa Blanchard there. You just want to kind of bring this up while we get ready to talk about the rest of Fyter Fest there. One new development had came about, supposedly, from all of this, since we had reported on her release from Impact Wrestling and everything. And shout out to the guys, good guys over there at Fightful. They are reporting that with regards to Tessa Blanchard's release from Impact, there is a non-disparagement clause, and they're noting that several of NWA's contracts are structured with a similar clause. Remember, Blanchard was released late last week, just a couple of days before her contract was set to expire on June 30th. As being said, there's no non-compete clause attached to her release, and she is said to have been in contact with WWE already. So, yeah. I really hope she does not go to WWE. If you ask me honestly, look, I'm gonna give it to you raw, and then we gotta move it along. In a nutshell, WWE has all the talent in the world down there. Until I see some of the other girls in a position where I feel, nah. And what I mean by that is, I'm looking at girls such as Santana Garrett. I mean, that girl deserves a lot better, I personally feel. I mean, that's great that she's getting camera time and everything, but for me, I think she deserves better than what I'm seeing of her on TV. I'm happy that my girl Ruby Riott is back, but I need to see a little bit more to get a really good idea on what does the future really hold for her as a single star and everything. WWE is just overkill right now when you just think about the women talent and everything. Hey, would Tessa be okay on the NXT brand? Oh, yeah, sure. I think she would be just fine on the NXT brand. That's not a problem. Where I draw a little bit of concern is when it's time to have her come up to the main roster. That's where my concern really is, and I just don't have that confidence right now. At least as far as the people that are in charge on those other two shows as compared to NXT. If it was under different circumstance, okay, I'd be more mindful. I'd be more open-minded, but I'm just no. Yeah, hopefully she ends up either doing AEW. I mean, Dad's already down there. He's already got his feet in the door. Or NWA. I mean, she'd be a great addition for NWA too, I personally think. Getting back to Fyter Fest. Let's keep it moving along here. Talk about some more of this great action that we got here. By the way, in case you guys kind of missed it there, Sheeta retaining. But a damn good match. Ford really stepped out. Stepped out and then some. TNT Championship match. Jake Hager. This beautiful, hot porn actress of a wife. Taking on Cody Rhodes. And Wilford Brimley. Jericho, can I just say something about Chris Jericho? Chris Jericho on commentating for Fyter Fest. God, I fucking loved it. That was so... 2 things from wrestling this week. Actually, 3 things from wrestling this week that really jumped out to me. Samoa Joe should strongly be considered as some type of a authority figure for the Raw show. You guys that saw Raw know exactly what I'm talking about. And then the other thing I would have to, again, we just complimented the hell out of that match there between Penelope Ford and Sheeta. So that's another thing that stands out. Taz's fucking promo at Fyter Fest. Whoo! Yeah. But Jericho when commentating, that for me, I just loved it. I fucking loved it. I mean, he brought the personality. He brought the wits. I mean, he was just so, right there. You could tell his shit wasn't rehearsed. You could tell his shit was just off the fly. I mean, just a fucking natural. A fucking natural. If Jericho ever decides, you know what? Really, I'm good with the wrestling. I'm totally good with the wrestling. I don't mind being a coach at this point. I don't mind being a producer. I don't mind doing all this other shit. Okay, if Jericho wants to help out behind the scenes, then God bless Jericho. But Jericho on commentating, fucking golden. He has that gift of the gab, as they say. He just has that. So, I love it. And Gino, I see the point that you're making about Tessa. When I get ready to talk about Impact Wrestling in a hot second, I'll be sure to kind of circle back and bring that up. But yeah, that was, that was pretty damn good though. But yeah, Jericho being so fucking quick-witted and shit. I love hearing him call Arn Anderson Wilford Brimley. And he was doing the whole, go eat your oatmeal, old man. I was loving that, and just instantly I was laughing my ass off, because I remember when I had first got diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. I remember my girl, some of my friends, they would hit me up with these fucking stupid little videos of Wilford Brimley. Me and my partner, diabetes, and try diabetes, you'll like it. It's like this is the stupidest fucking thing. Oh my god, you gotta look it up. Just type in YouTube Wilford Brimley diabetes, or diabetes remix or some shit like that, and you guys will fucking laugh your ass off. I would play it, but I don't want to fucking get the channel in any type of trouble, so nah, I'll fucking pass on that one. TNT match though, TNT Championship match, Kody defending against Jake Hager there. Good outing, good outing, nice finish. I actually had enjoyed it. I love seeing Hager punching out the referee, because of the loss, making him look like he's a loose cannon, making him look as though, he could just snap at any fucking moment and everything. And I love hearing Chris Jericho on commentating, trying to defend Hager and say, well, look, the numbers were stacked against Hager there. Like, look, fucking Cody's brother came out. And he also had Arn Anderson there and everything. It's like, look at all that bullshit that had went down. So at least you could kind of make the argument that this match was booked in a way where Hager can make the argument, Kody retained this because of the help that he got, and the referee wasn't fucking doing his job properly and really focusing on what was going on in the ring rather than all of that fucking outside interference. But then you could kind of make the same argument and go, well, wait a minute, Hager, not for nothing, but your wife was kind of doing a little something, as well, and everything. Closing moments of that matchup, Hager, he had a Uranagi, came in with the triangle. Kody floats over, does the pin. I mean, it was a weird sequence that had went down, because like it looked as though it could have went either way, just the way I'm describing it to you guys. But the 1, 2, 3, it went in favor of Cody Rhodes. But definitely controversial there for Hager. Like I said, a lot of shit was going on right there. Fourth match, Santana and Ortiz taking on Private Party. Private Party picking up the W. I'm trying really hard to support Private Party. I really am. They're still very green. And this match, it really, really showcased that against the veteran team and Santana and Ortiz. they showed their greenness. They being Private Party, they showed their greenness in this. I saw a lot of sloppiness in this match, and look, I think it's a really good thing that Matt Hardy is paired up with these guys, but I hope that it's not just something from a TV character point of view. I really hope that Matt Hardy is literally, okay, let's go watch your match. Let's look at what went right. Let's look at what went wrong. Yeah, I really hope that, you would think that with a guy like Matt Hardy, that with the Young Bucks, hell, Kody, his brother Dustin, fucking Tully, fucking Arn, all of those guys that I just named, they know a thing or two about fucking tag team action. Fuck, even FTR. They need all the help that they can get right now. You know, I'm not bashing Private Party in any type of way. I'm just saying what I think that's very obvious. There has been consecutively now, there has been a handful of tag team matches involving Private Party. I'm like almost in the double digits here with my hands here of the Private Party matches I've seen thus far. And there's been some type of sloppiness going on their part. So for me, they got to clean that up. And once they clean that up, you know, the personalities are starting to flush out even more.
Yatta!
Oh, yatta. Hey, we got to say super chat. Super chat from Gino there. Thank you for the super chat. And to those of you watching live, if you want to chip in while we're still live on the air, and you up for doing a super chat, we are taking super chats. Gino, who would you get rid of if Chris Jericho is a commentator? Easy. And it kind of pains me to say this. It's nothing personal. It's just that at the end of the day, he really doesn't bring anything to the table for me personally. So, nothing personal. Let me just say that. Nowadays, you have to say that because everybody takes it personal. But here, it's never personal. I would bump Excalibur. Nothing personal against him, but you know, honestly, I don't notice when Excalibur is there. I don't notice when Excalibur is there. Whether he's there or not, it's irrelevant to me. I don't notice. I notice when Shivani is not there. I notice when Jim Ross isn't there. Not for nothing, but I did manage to watch a couple of MLW episodes when Tony Schiavone was still offering commentating, and whenever it would switch up, I noticed that. When Jim Cornette was helping out for a little bit, you know, I noticed. Okay, so for me, yeah, it's easy. So with Excalibur, though, here's the thing. You just take Excalibur and you have him cover the new AEW show that's supposed to be on, I guess, Thursday nights, because there's supposed to be a second show happening soon. I believe this fall, but don't quote me on that. But TNT did sign off. If you remember last year, we reported it, or reacted to the news, rather, I should say. Yeah, let's say, yeah, that's actually more truthful. I mean, we reported it as far as, hey, you know, the press release that came out and everything, but we more so talked about it and, you know, put a couple of ideas out there. No, I would say let Excalibur go to that show and let it be him, Taz, see, who else? No, I think him and Taz would be just fine. Just let it be him and Taz, and you can just have Jericho be with Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone. That's all you need. Right down to the point when you were watching Fyter Fest Part 1, you notice how more in the background Excalibur was. Yeah, he was more quiet than usual. And, you know, so, I mean, you can't really hang when you got it, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. But that's what I would do. if I had to keep Excalibur on there, ooh, that's pretty tough. That's pretty tough. Because you got to get rid of somebody. So I would hate to bump Shivani. I really would. I really would. Because yeah, I would hate to bump Shivani, but if Excalibur, let's just say for the sake of the argument, if Excalibur had immunity and he wasn't up for being removed, then I think by default I would have to go with Shivani and let Shivani and Taz do that other show that's supposed to be happening on TNT, because I know they're also doing their thing on Dark and all that, or one of those guys. I know Jim Ross usually isn't doing Dark, but however you got to do it, then that's how you do it. But that's how I would do it. So if Excalibur was up for grabs, bump him off the main show in place of Jericho. If he had immunity, then I would bump Tony Schiavone for Jericho. But notice Jim Ross would stay there the whole time. Yeah. If you do a Bing or Google search, there's a press release that said that they had got TNT gave the green light to AEW so that there could be another show. Yeah. If I'm fumbling right now, it's these damn trays. I'm trying to break them in real good. But yeah, grand total, there is supposed to be 3 shows. Yeah, there is supposed to be 3 shows, believe it or not. See, any more matches here? Kody retaining his championship, by the way. Let's see, anything else we can get into here? Oh yeah, we talked Private Party picking up the win. Like I told you, a lot of sloppiness that was going on in that matchup. A lot of sloppiness there. Oh, but you know what was the saving grace of dealing with that match was Orange Cassidy out there, and he's just sitting outside of the commentator's booth while Jericho, he can't focus on that tag match. And he's just talking shit to Orange Cassidy the entire time. And after the match is over, Orange Cassidy stands up and he kind of teases almost as if he's getting ready to walk past the commentator's booth and maybe stop right in front of Jericho. And Jericho just loses his fucking shits and all hell broke out. They never touched each other. That was the most beautiful thing that I loved about it. They never touched each other, and Jericho was just selling that fucking match like I don't know what. That was truly awesome. The fact that they never touched each other. Not once. They didn't even trash talk each other. They didn't even go back and forth with the trash talk. That was all Jericho. All in the name of having you be invested in their matchup for next week. Loved it. That was a great fucking job that they did with that. Next matchup, the AEW Tag Team Championship. Kenny Omega, Adam Page taking on the Best Friends, Omega and Paige, retaining their championship. It was a great main event match to close out part 1 of Fyter Fest, and I don't think there was ever any doubt as far as who's going to come out of this as the new tag champions. Although I gotta say, I did like the little spot there where Trent's mom made a little bit of a cameo there. That little spot right there, it did kind of have me wonder just briefly, well, wait a minute, is it possible we could get new tag champions? Because his mom is here after all, but it didn't look like that was the case. Paige, Omega, kind of following up on something I had said months back before these guys even had got crowned tag team champions. I said, you know what? Build a tag team division or around these guys because they are a very interesting combo there. Yeah, you can have them eventually break apart, but if you're going to do something with regards to your tag team, you're trying to build up a tag team division, go ahead and build it around these guys. You know, it's worth the investment. And AEW, to their credit, what they're doing with the tag division, especially now that they got FTR in there and everything, they're building it up pretty damn good. Paige and Omega, they're not just proving that as singles performers, singles competitors, that they're fucking awesome, but they're also showing, hey, we're also great as a tag team as well. So it was awesome seeing FTR come out afterwards trying to celebrate with some beers and everything. Hangman Page, he was down, but Omega's a milk kind of guy, so him pouring his shit out, I mean, come on, what did you think was going to happen? A lot of chewing of the fat there until freaking Young Bucks got in there, tried to be peacemakers and everything. Story ends on that note. Pretty good for a non-pay-per-view, but kind of giving you a pay-per-view type of feel. Great opener. A lot of fire in there. Kody continues to be this great fighting champion. Love that. Despite the fact that he gets what he gets on social media, forums and everything. Cassidy continues to fucking win the hearts of many fans. And he's not doing anything. That's the beautiful part. He's not doing anything. Love it. Fucking love it. Now, big development had came from part 1 of Fyter Fest. We learned that Jon Moxley and the Cyborg Machine, Brian Cage, they will not be fighting for the AEW Championship as they were scheduled to on this card. And the way it's looking right now, it looks like at Fight for the Fallen, that's where they're going to be fighting. So Taz, his promo that he had cut, I love that. I love that on so many levels. I don't really need to rehash that, do I? I'm sure by now some of you guys have probably heard what other people had to say about that. But yes, I did love that on so many levels. Whether or not Taz was taking a shot there at WWE, sure as hell sounded like it to me. Whatever first comes to your mind, right? That's what you're usually going to run with. Usually you're on point with your first instinct there, what your gut telling you. But Taz, goddamn, what a great mouthpiece. What a great fucking mouthpiece. Better now than ever. And I know a lot of people, but Samoa Joe, he was doing this. But here's the thing, people. Not that many people were watching Impact Wrestling back then. Not that many people gave a shit about Impact Wrestling back then. We might have, but the majority of the fans weren't giving a shit. So to be able to see Taz here on a much grander scale, it's awesome. It's awesome. I'm telling you, it's... How did I describe Joseph Samael from MLW? I said that basically he reminded me of Taz, Austin Aries, and Paul Heyman, all rolled up in one. And to see what Taz has been able to do as a mouthpiece for Brian Cage. And not for nothing, Brian Cage, I don't know if you guys are really aware of this, but for you newer Brian Cage fans, Brian Cage is a damn good talker. He's got personality. He can carry himself pretty damn good, but just the fact that he's paired up with Taz, man, I mean, it's like putting mustard and ketchup on a burger. It's like, it's heaven. It's perfect. Here I am. And again, with another food analogy. I don't know what's going on. I just ate. Like, I'm not hungry, so y'all's guess is as good as mine. What the fuck is going on there? But good night 1 of Fyter Fest. I'm looking forward to night 2. Looking forward to checking that out. All right, let's take a pause real quick before we get ready to talk about NXT Bash at the Beach. Quick notes from Monday's Raw. And let me see how we're doing on time, by the way, because I do care about the time tonight. All right, so we're doing pretty good. I'm seeing we've only been recording for about 1 hour and 7 minutes. So I don't mind if we go up to about 1 hour and 20 minutes. We can even tease maybe 1 hour and 30 minutes. I'd be okay with that. I feel good going a little bit longer. I just don't want to go nowhere near 1 hour and 40 minutes. So we'll get into a couple more little tidbits. And like I said, whatever we're not able to get into, we got this weekend. We'll have a new Wrestling with the Topics for you guys, and we'll dive into that one. AEW Tag Team Title match. We covered that. We covered that already. Gino's asking about the AEW Tag Team Title match. We covered that already. It should have been Omega and Paige defending the titles against Best Friends. We talked about that already. Unless I'm missing another match, we talked about that already. Am I missing something? It should be good. Yeah, before I move on and get ready to talk about NXT Bash at the Beach, quick notes about Monday's Raw. And there you have it. That's all I really have to say about that. Look, this is what I will say. And I'm actually looking at my notes right now, just looking at the matches that came about from tonight, from Monday night's Raw. If you didn't watch it, you didn't miss nothing. You didn't miss nothing. Seriously, you did not miss anything. What can I say about Raw for this past Monday night? Really, nothing. Except for the opener. The opener there with Samoa Joe welcoming the audience to Monday Night Raw. Drew McIntyre, Asuka, Sasha Banks, Bayley, Dolph Ziggler. You know, all of these guys are sitting around this table basically because you got the contract signings for those respective heavyweight championships, as Ziggler is going to be facing McIntyre for the title at the Extreme Rules, whatever they're doing, House of Horrors, whatever the fuck they're calling that shit, House of Ghouls, whatever, House of 1,000 Corpses, whatever the fuck they're calling it this go around. But that's going on. And then you got freaking Asuka putting her title on the line against Sasha Banks. So, I mean, other than the opener, which really made Samoa Joe, out of everybody that was going on, all that craziness that was going on, somehow Samoa Joe just came out of that smelling like 1,000 fucking roses. I would strongly, if I'm WWE, I would strongly consider having Samoa Joe, you know, maybe be that new authority figure for the Raw side of things. I mean, William Regal's been at it for so long. Why not go ahead, take another swing at it again? And I also liked how all those participants were in that segment and how somehow it morphed into an intergender tag match later on. That was your main event of the night, as McIntyre and Asuka teamed up to face Sasha Banks and Dolph Ziggler. I did like how all of that came about, but other than that, it felt like a filler episode. It felt like a filler episode. Nothing really very noteworthy or, man, you know, I missed this. You know, what the fuck? Big Show in there. That handicap match that he had going on. I don't really know if Big Show should have been defeating those guys in that handicap. I don't really know about that. That kind of rubbed me the wrong way just a little tiny bit. But nothing really. I'm telling you guys, I'm getting to a point right now where if Monday Night Raw keeps phoning it in, I'm telling you guys, man, we're about to get to that point where Monday Night Football, that's all I got to say. Monday Night Football. Hey, if you guys have been enjoying the show so far, because we're only streaming on one platform tonight, we're keeping it simple. I was trying to stream on other platforms, but I was noticing a hiccup, so I just said, we'll keep it simplistic tonight. So we're streaming the show for our YouTube audience. So for you guys that's watching via YouTube, you enjoying the show so far, make sure you hit the like button. Lets the YouTube algorithm gods know you like the content, and it helps them out as far as recommending to other people, check this shit out. So that's Raw. We'll talk about Impact, a couple other little tidbits in a hot second. Let's go ahead and let's talk about WWE's Bash at the Beach, because they did have that Bash at the Beach there, night one. night one of their respected product. The NXT Women's Championship #1 contender elimination chamber match. Try saying that 10 times fast. 10 times fast. Candice LeRae taking on Dakota Kai, taking on Mia Yim, taking on Tegan Nox. Tegan Nox picking up the win. I gotta tell you, this was a good match. It was a good match from the standpoint of there was a lot of things going on. There was a lot of, I guess the right terminology I want to use for this, there was a lot of moving parts in this one. With all of these personalities, we know the backstories to all of these women that were in this match. All of these women have somehow intertwined, and it just made sense. It just fit so well, all of these women being involved with each other in this type of a match. Everything was very fluent in this match as well. It was very crisp, very fine, even right down to that little bit of fine detail. Everything, I couldn't find anything wrong with this match. It was good. Even right down to Tegan Nox becoming the #1 contender. I had no problem with her picking up the dub. Everything about this match was booked perfectly. It was booked perfectly. Not to mention, you saw the end of some important rivalries here in this matchup, per se. So everything about this, I enjoyed. And I guess next week, on part 2 of Bash at the Beach, Damian Priest is supposed to be taking on Cameron Grimes. I knew him as Andrew Everett in TNA, Impact Wrestling. He was one of Hurricane's students, if you will. I tolerated him, though, because he reminded me of a longtime friend of the show, Justin Reno. And this current gimmick, it does nothing for me. I gotta be honest with you. And I've tried to really feel my way out with the Cameron Grimes thing. I've tried to, be a little bit supportive and everything of the guy and everything. Because I'm legit happy for him. I'm happy that he has this opportunity to be showcased in front of so many eyeballs all around the world through the NXT brand and everything. It's definitely helped increase his stock as far as name recognition and everything to a certain degree. I think we all could be in agreement of that. But, and I'm not saying it's gotten him in a position where, he's like a Randy Orton, Hulk Hogan or anything like that. But you guys get what I'm saying when I say it's getting him a little bit more name recognition and everything. I just don't understand this yeehaw fucking gimmick. This yeehaw, Beverly Hillbillies. I just, this gimmick does nothing for me. It does nothing. I just find him to be obnoxious and not in a Baron Corbin go away heat type of way. It is a, why are you on my TV? You're a waste of fucking time. Take a fucking hike. I don't like feeling that way about a talent because he's good in the ring, especially from a enhancement talent type of view. And I got a correction to make. Thank you, Gino. Appreciate that. Not Andrew Everett. Trevor Lee. He was Trevor Lee in Impact Wrestling. So, for me personally, I'm just not feeling this gimmick. I'm just not. There's something about this whole, I don't know what it is. I'm just not feeling it. That being said, honestly, I'm looking forward to Damian Priest being done with this particular opponent so he can move on to better things. That's all I'm saying, folks. Moving right along. Only Lorcan taking on Timothy Thatcher. Great fucking matchup. And keep in mind, this is the first matchup that Timothy Thatcher had since the whole vignettes we were seeing where he was kind of acting like Stu Hart in the dungeon there. Great fucking matchup. A lot of people were complaining about the pacing of this match and everything. Some felt maybe it was a little bit too slow. I didn't have a problem with it whatsoever. I love the fact that as far as a good old-fashioned, nice, technical, amateur wrestling type of match that these two men were basically offering here, I didn't have a problem with this match overall. It was a good fucking match. Good fucking match. Thatcher going over. Damn good. Damn fucking good. Rhea Ripley was in action. We kind of knew this was going to be the case where she would win. Her match against Roderick Strong. And, oh, sorry, no, not Roderick Strong. Her match against Aaliyah and Robert Stone of the Robert Stone brand. You know, we kind of knew that Rhea was gonna pick up the W here, but I gotta tell you, there was a part of me that was hoping that Rhea Ripley would lose. I think that would have made for interesting programming over the course of the next several weeks for NXT, was to see Rhea Ripley lose, and then she would have no choice but to basically do Robert Stone's bidding and everything. That would have been very interesting to see. Maybe that might still happen. Who knows? But it was all right. Strap match. Dexter Lumis taking on Roderick Strong. Dexter Lumis picking up the match win here. Good match. Good damn match. A little bit too long. Just a little bit too long. But overall, good match. I was most surprised that Dexter Lumis got the W. I gotta say, I guess whoever it is in WWE, they're starting to see a little bit of stock there in Dexter, which is good. I'm happy if that's the case, if they're starting to maybe look at him in a different light. I remember when he was Sam Shaw in Impact Wrestling. I bring that up all the time. What a captivating, charismatic, and alluring figure he was in Impact Wrestling that really reeled you in. I keep telling people this is the same character that you're seeing here that you got in Impact Wrestling. This is just a character that's more defined, slightly more amplified and everything, but it's the same. You can change the name and all of that, but it's literally the same character that you had saw in Impact Wrestling. I'm happy for the guy. I'm happy because, man, even way back then when I was seeing him in Impact, I said, that's a guy right there. He's going places. He's fucking going places. And for those of you that are interacting in the chat, you got to do me a huge favor, because sadly, I know you guys are kind of responding when you're responding, but sadly, and I don't know why YouTube has this set up the way that it does, but there is a 90-second to maybe like 120-second delay. Nothing that I can do at my end. So by the time you guys are commenting on a particular thing, I'm already moved on to something else. So when you guys are saying something in the comment section, be as specific as possible. For example, I see someone making the comment of his character is two-dimensional. By now, I don't know who the hell you're talking about. So you got to be very specific as far as, you know, who you're talking about, so I can kind of play off of you a little bit more. It will kind of help me out. That way I don't make you guys feel like, you know, you're just left in the cold, just commenting, and I'm not fucking interacting with you guys. You feel me? All right, moving along. Let's keep going here. Let's see. Phantasma, Escobar, cutting his little promo. Here's where I did fast forwarding. Gotta be honest, I did fast forward. I didn't care about this particular fucking spot here. I didn't. But it was nice seeing Drake Maverick come out, still sporting for a fight. Getting a little bit of help there from Fandango, Tyler Breeze. Looks like there is a 6-man tag team match that maybe is going to be in the works for Bash at the Beach Part 2 amongst all of these cats. We'll have to wait and see. We also got teased with a Martinez vignette that's going to be airing. Of course, I'm talking about the lovely Mercedes Martinez. All right. Also, Sasha and Bailey, they were in the house in their nice little convertible and everything, as we got set up for our main event match of the night. Io Shirai taking on Sasha Banks. A little bit of sloppiness here and there, but overall, good match. Both of these women, good back and forth. I'll definitely give them a lot of props for that. Good, strong finish. Finish was actually creative as well. And that's despite the fact that when I think about it a little bit more, you know, you did have interference in this, but given the way how things had kind of worked out, it was kind of cool how it all had went down. Plus, it was nice seeing Io Shirai, Asuka sharing the ring together. It's pretty badass and everything. Somebody had brought up the idea. I wish I could give the person credit. Maybe it was Lance Storm. I don't know. I'm 80% sure it was Lance Storm. But I believe it was Lance. He brought up the idea, why not have one person be the NXT champion and World Heavyweight champion? And I get what he means. I know what he was trying to say. He's like, it's actually not a bad idea, especially if you're trying to really spread that brand awareness around, you know, get more people to tune in and check out the other shows. I know exactly what he's talking about. And that very will happen in the very near future. I tell you what, I miss Charlotte Flair, but supposedly, and if it's a legit injury, I don't know. But it could be a storyline. And if it's a storyline, I'm okay with it being a storyline, because it kind of follows up on something that we had touched upon a couple of weeks ago, which is, hey, Charlotte Flair, she's been a workhorse for all of the brands past several weeks. Give her a little bit of time off. Let her recharge a little bit. So if that's what's going on with her, that's great. But as I said, hey, that means that the other girls, they got to step it up as well. This is their opportunity. Reach for that fucking brass ring. Overall, night one, Bash at the Beach, pretty damn good. Middle of the card, not so good. But overall, pretty solid. Good stellar matches. Their women's division, is pretty good because, they got the talent. That is where they are crushing AEW right now. They got the fucking talent. Some talented fucking girls. Good built-in rivalries. Good story arcs. All of that. So as far as the ratings breakdown for this week and hearing that AEW lost to NXT for the second week in a row, I get it. I get it. And that's despite the fact of what I said at the top. I felt that AEW had the better show. Honestly. But can't wait to see how they're going to respond next week. AEW, that I'm talking about. Hey, I want to take this time out. I want to recognize some of our Patreon members. We'll get into a couple of more little tidbits here. Let me see how we're doing on airtime, though. We're doing fantastic. I'm showing we're at about an hour, 26 minutes. So we can go about 10 more minutes. About 10 more minutes, and then we'll stick a fork in it. We'll call it DONE done. Patreon.com/RCWR show. Check out bonus audio video content. Great majority you won't be able to find anywhere else. A lot of exclusive content. Shout out to our Patreon members, Gino. Shout out to Justin Ripstock. Shout out to Sean Kenter. Shout out to Michael Wolf. Shout out to John Davis. Special shout out to my good man, Tony Bing Gaming. One of the very latest in all things Marvel Super War, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, Marvel... What's the other one that's getting ready to come out? I'm sorry, that happens, folks. Get a brain fart live on the air. No, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, Marvel Super War, Marvel Strike Force. I know he's also getting ready to cover the new Marvel Avengers game from Square Enix. He's already showing a couple of little things on his YouTube channel, showing you the gear breakdown, how you're going to be able to upgrade it and all of that. Check him out. He's got a great YouTube channel. He's got Patreon paywall as well. Check him out when you guys get a chance. But patreon.com/RCWR show. Check out bonus audio and video content. We're going to be busy this weekend for sure. So keep your eyes peeled on that one. I don't really need to get into a whole full-blown Impact Wrestling review, but one interesting note that came from out of this was real life couple Madison Rayne and Josh Matthews. They revealed that, of course, the Impact Championship, it's now vacant. As a result of that, that has changed drastically the main event for Slammiversary. So right now we know Ace Austin, he's definitely locked in there. We also know that Trey from the Rascals, he's definitely in there as well, and rightfully so. I think he's earned the right to be in there. And then your third participant that's going to be in there is freaking, give me a second here, Eddie Edwards. Eddie Edwards is going to be in there. But the fourth spot, because it's now going to be a four-way, the fourth spot, that's where things get a little interesting. We don't know who's going to have that spot. It's a mystery opponent. So your guess is as good as mine. Hey, could it be EC3? Could it be the Cowboy, James Storm? Could it be Eric Young? It's a whole lot that could be happening with that one spot right there. Of course, my favorite. Could it be Sting? I love you guys. Come on. I love you guys. But no, it ain't going to be Sting. You can forget that. There's no way it's going to be Sting. Old man Sting coming down? Nah. That's wishful thinking, though. That's wishful thinking. So, Impact Wrestling, I mean, they are going through some growing pains right now. So now you don't have Tessa Blanchard. You don't have Michael Elgin. Michael Elgin pretty much gone as a result of all of the allegations that's basically resurfaced and everything. So you got all that shit that's going on. Joey Ryan no longer there. They are going through some serious growing pains. I bullshit you not. Somehow Impact Wrestling is able to continue to keep on. I don't know how they do it, but somehow they are. And other talents, where there's an opportunity, they're able to rise to the occasion. I don't see that trend stopping anytime soon. I just don't. Do we really need to talk a little bit more about the shit that's going on with Joey Ryan? For those of you that's kind of, well, we kind of talked about all of that shit last week, but there's been some new details regarding his sexual misconduct allegations and reactions of those close to him regarding that. So, Wrestling Observer, they're reporting that his closest friends had no idea about Ryan's actions, and that some of the people who knew him were in deep depression and soul searching as they tried to process the news. Yeah, no shit. Just imagine that somebody you used to be best friends with turns out to be an axe murderer. And yeah, you're probably going to be doing a lot of fucking soul searching and then some, right? So, hey, whatever. But also, according to the Observer, not everyone was so shocked. One independent promoter said that they had heard about all the allegations before, and that was specifically why he was never booked. This promoter also said that they believe more people knew about them, but on the flip side, one promoter said that Ryan was a model employee and added he never heard any rumors. One of the people considered to be Ryan's closest friends, who is not directly in the industry, said to the Observer, "To say this was shocking was an understatement. I've known him 20 years and have never seen this side. It feels like when the news interviews a murderer's family, and they say they had no idea. And of course, Impact Wrestling, they released Joey Ryan because of these allegations that went down. His bar wrestling promotion, that's been shut down as well. Mum is the word right now. He's pretty much been quiet since all of this shit has been going down. I'm sure he's trying to piece together his life, what little is left of it, and is trying to figure out, all right, where do I go from here? How do I fucking rebuild myself here? What the hell? I wouldn't be surprised if with all of these allegations that's been going down and all these people that have been speaking out against him and everything, it's kind of a sad ending to Joey Ryan's career. If you really stop and think about it, I don't really see how this guy in this day and age, in this new millennium, I don't see how he rises from the ashes like a phoenix and is able to continue on in the industry. I don't see it. I don't see that clear path. Even if he were to take self accountability and all of those things, I just don't see how he can continue on. I just don't see it. Maybe it can happen, but I just don't see it. And it almost kind of reminds me of one of my all-time favorite movies with Mark Wahlberg, Boogie Nights. We all know that main character that he plays, how he was at the height of his career, everything was going good for him and everything, and he got introduced to the drugs and the whole fucking downward spiral from there. But does anybody remember Don Cheadle's character? You remember that powerful scene where he was trying to get out of the porn industry, him and his girl, and he had this really cool idea for a startup business, and he was trying to get a loan. And basically, when it was all said and done, because of his former career choice, that basically hindered him from that opportunity and any future opportunities. You can't help but kind of apply, you get what I'm saying, you apply some of those things that I just referenced, kind of apply it to Joey Ryan's situation with all of these allegations, and it's how can a person come back on top from all of that? It's just, I don't know. In this day and age, I really don't know. I really don't know, because this is the day and age where most people, they react, judge, jury, executioner. It's not even, well, let's see what happens with all of the facts. Let's just follow everything. And then we pretty much go from there, based off the information that we have, let's pretty much go from there. Hey, I got some Amber Moon news I want to share with you guys. And I find this so fitting because we literally were talking about Amber Moon last week. If you guys recall, I had mentioned how I wanted to see her eventually come back, depending on where she was during her whole recovery process from surgery. And I basically said, hey, if anybody deserves another opportunity in the WWE to really see what they can do, it's a girl like Amber Moon. Well, Amber Moon had conducted a new interview with comicbook.com. I like comicbook.com. I prefer comicbookmovie.com, but comicbook.com is actually pretty good as well. But anyway, she gave the interview and she revealed that the Achilles tendon injury that she suffered last year, get this, it's being described, and by her, as so bad that she may need a second surgery. Now keep in mind, she said in previous interviews that she tore the tendon while chasing the WWE 24/7 champion during a segment. So I'll read to you just a couple of highlights here. With regards to the Achilles injury, it's been an up and downhill for me. A lot of people don't know this. They think I just have a very generic Achilles rupture, but I don't. What actually happened is that my Achilles tendon got split in half, and then it got torn off the bone. So I actually ruptured my Achilles in two places, and the surgeon thinks that I may have been wrestling on it for probably about 2 months, already torn to some extent. And I just didn't feel the pain because I kind of have a high pain tolerance. Fuck. And as far as a return date, she says that it's been a very tough uphill battle and it sucks. I will say that where I originally had a return date, now I don't again because of complications with strength building. And with regards to the claim that she may not wrestle again, she said, and I quote, "I'm sitting here and I'm fighting a second surgery. I'm fighting against the second surgery. That's how bad it is. When I went on backstage and I said, I don't know if I'm ever going to wrestle again, I meant what I said, and I stand by it." So, one, I got to say off the break, I'm really bummed to hear that with regards to Amber Moon. I really, really sincerely am. This is somebody at Athena. Right when I had began doing the podcasting and everything, I remember she was being trained down at Booker T's school and everything. And I remember way back then I came across her work and I was pretty fucking impressed. For me, she felt like somebody, okay, keep your eyes on her. And right down to the point, I told you guys over the years, there was a couple of times where, we had tried to see if we could get her on the show and everything. And so for me to hear that news with regards to her, that sucks. My heart goes out to her because legitimately, this is somebody I want to see succeed tremendously in the WWE, that I think can succeed tremendously in the WWE. She's a great performer. She's a great entertainer. Yeah, she may not have the whole charisma thing down and things may not click overall with the fans, but she still has a fan in me and, many other people. And there are still those of us, with myself included, we want to see her get those multiple opportunities like some of those other girls have gotten. Some of them not really deserving of it. Honestly, keeping it real. But a girl like Amber Moon, you can definitely do some things with her. Don't even think about wrestling right now. That's honestly my advice. And I don't really think she is. I don't know how much they had probed her and everything, but I'm sure wrestling right now is the least thing on her mind. I'm sure for her right now, just 100% full healthy recovery. And then everything else can just come after the fact. But to hear that, hey, I may not be wrestling again, what a fucked up way for basically something that one is so passionate about, something that they love so much. Okay, well, we're gonna take that away from you. Powers that be, we're gonna take that away from you. You can't do that anymore. Okay, great. Now what do I do? And that's gotta fucking suck. So if you follow her throughout social media, you ever gave a damn about her, show her some love. Share her some love, and I'm sure she would definitely appreciate it right now. There's a lot of crazy fucked up shit that's going on right now. To hear something like that, it's like, man, that fucking sucks. That fucking sucks. On a much lighter note, how many of you guys got trolled by Renee Young? Oh my god, I had such a field day. I was playing right into it, right along with everybody else. Renee Young, I've got this big announcement, but I gotta keep it on lid until Wednesday. And I'm just, I know what this is. Not the announcement, but I'm just going, she is playing the social media game very well. Very well. That's how you tease. And I played along. I couldn't help but go with my fucking Kody gifts. And I'm saying to myself, she's not going to announce that she's done with the WWE. And you know what? I actually should have put that out there in black and white, but I feel I didn't really need to say that. But I'm just going, she's playing the social media game. She's got them hook, line, and sinker. People are going to work themselves up. What's going on with the dirt sheets? How many of them are going to be going, Renee Young teasing big announcement, AEW bound, ... question mark. Be honest, how many of you all got trolled? How many of y'all got rickrolled? Because it turns out her announcement was that she has a new cookbook that she's going to have come out. I wish I was trolling the fuck out of you guys. right now. But the big announcement is that she finally handed over her manuscript for a cookbook that she's been working her butt off on for the past couple of months. So that's it. I'm just picturing all of the people that were just, oh, yes, Renee Young is coming to AEW. Yay! This was like, oh my God, you guys got it big time. You guys got it bad. Also, some new information with regards to the car accident in which Velveteen Dream was involved in, and he had a visit at a hospital as a result. A little bit more information has come about. Looks like the accident had took place a little bit after 4 p.m. local time when Dream allegedly failed to stop at a red light. That resulted in him hitting another car. The driver of the other car sustained injuries, but it's not known to the extent how bad those injuries were. Dream, in the meantime, was given a citation over the incident and will not appear in court. So, I mean, that's pretty much everything that's happened with that. So, I mean, just through process of elimination, okay, well, he's not going to appear in court. Don't really know the extent of the person's injuries. You're kind of led to the impression, well, maybe the injuries are not that bad. You kind of say that. Look, I'll give it to you from personal experience. And we'll get into one other topic, and then we'll pretty much put a bookend on the show here. Let me see how we're doing on time. About 1:44. Okay, so in a nutshell, been there, done that. All right, so my girl, she was involved in a car accident. You guys recall, that's been long-time listeners. I think she was involved in that car accident. I think it was maybe last year or the year before. She was involved in a car accident. And basically what happens is, for anybody that does not drive yet, basically what happens is, assuming that everybody comes out of, when the cars collide and everything, assuming everybody, comes out in one piece, just a little bit banged up, sore, all of that, police automatically, they come to the scene. Whether you or the other person, other parties that were in this accident, whether somebody calls or a passerby that saw what went down gets on their phone and they fucking call. Once the police get involved, definitely nobody ain't leaving the scene. But typically, you get into an accident. Hey, you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. You okay? Nah, I feel a little fucked up. You exchange car insurance information, contact information, all of that shit. From that point, your respective car insurance companies, they gotta talk to each other, assess the damages and everything. Eventually, your car insurance company, they're gonna fucking get in contact with you, and they're gonna be like, hey, explain what was going on here from your end. How did this accident happen? What were you doing? What was going on? You give them that information, and depending on the damages and everything, you may not be paying for anything. It's basically all on the fucking car insurance company. But in return, the car insurance company that you have, they can easily come right back and say, okay, well, hey, as a result of this accident that you were involved in, the monthly price that you pay for your car insurance, well, that's gonna have to go up. So, the fact that we're not hearing anything of vehicular manslaughter and all that other shit, that's a good sign. That's a very good sign. And the fact that, we haven't heard anything about, the person he hit that was involved in this car accident, they're in critical, the fact that we haven't really heard anything like that, because we would know about it by now, I mean, take all of that as good signs. But typically when a car accident happens, that's basically everything that happens in a nutshell. my girl was involved in an accident. Knock on wood, she came out of that okay. That's pretty much the whole process that she had to go through. And in her particular case, it turns out the driver that was, I'm trying to figure out how it happened. So my girl was just minding her own fucking business. She was trying to turn to the right on I think she was on the freeway. She signaled first. From her vantage point, her eyesight's pretty good. She had the right of way, so she went on ahead. Nobody was in her way. And all of a sudden, a car just fucking, I don't know what the fuck was going on, but a car just fucking came right as she did her right turn. Luckily she didn't hit the car, and the car just was in front of her. And then I don't know what the fuck happened, but the next thing you know, that same car, it just fucking stopped. And so my girl's car hits the back of that car, and then the car in front of that dumbass car took damage as well. So you had 3 drivers. Oh, actually, there were 4 cars involved because it's like a domino effect. So you have 4 drivers, including my girl. You have 4 drivers total. They were all exchanging information and all that other shit. That's why, if you haven't done driving school yet, you will. You younger cats out there, you will. That's why one of the first things that they tell you when you get involved in a car accident, do not leave the scene of the crime. Because once you leave the scene of the crime, you just created a whole shitstorm for yourself. So, yeah, not good. Not good whatsoever. There was one other thing I wanted to get into, but I'm going to pause on that note. We'll actually save that for us and with the topics. It's worth it, by the way. Hey, real quick, before we get ready to roll out, I do want to offer my condolences, thoughts, prayers, best wishes. We lost another one. We lost a Hollywood icon. This may be well before you all's time, but if you were fortunate enough, like me, you had parents that knew a thing or two about good comedy. Hopefully you were in a situation where you grew up on this name. But Carl Reiner passed away, lived a nice, long, fruitful life, lived until the age of 98. He passed away this week at the age of 98. Hey, at least it wasn't COVID, any of that stupid shit that had went down. Great producer, writer, director. He's mostly known for creating the Dick Van Dyke Show. That introduced Dick Van Dyke for generations to come. It's funny because, before the whole shit went down there, the controversy and all that with Bill Cosby, as far as, okay, well, who else is of, that marquee type of, and he would be one of the first guys that you could point to and say, him, that guy, Dick Van Dyke, he's bulletproof. You can't touch him. Anything that Dick Van Dyke would touch was like fucking money. And CBS, they're set to honor Carl Reiner with 2 colored episodes of the Dick Van Dyke Show. So that's pretty fucking awesome to hear. It's sad too, because it's funny because I'm a big fan of MeTV. And I said this all throughout social media, but definitely way before my time. However, as a kid growing up in the 80s, my parents, they grew up on The Honeymooners, All in the Family, Sanford and Son, Good Times, Welcome Back Carter. So they essentially passed those shows, Barney Miller, all of that got passed on to me and everything. And so Dick Van Dyke Show, that's how I pretty much was able to, oh, okay, cool. So, also, speaking of All in the Family, I mean, everybody know who Carl Reiner's son is, Rob Reiner. Meathead, Mike Stivic and everything. So, and he's gone on to be a great writer and director, and, in his own respected right. So, for me, he definitely was somebody that was way before I was born, but luckily through TV, awesome parents, grandparents, I was able to, learn some stuff about him and everything. And so essentially, you can say I grew up on him. But it's one thing I like about a good channel like MeTV. I've talked about it off and on. This year alone, in MeTV, they show a lot of cool classic golden age shows. And right before he passed, Carl Reiner actually started doing some TV spots for MeTV, because I want to say maybe about 3 to almost 4 months ago, MeTV started airing Dick Van Dyke episodes. And as a proper introduction, I remember during the first couple of weeks, they were doing episodes that were handpicked by Carl Reiner as his absolute favorite episodes. And, so, and that was most recent. That was like, in 2020 alone. So your guess is as good as mine as far as when he sat down and recorded that for MeTV. But, it had aired earlier this year. So I don't know if maybe it was a case where they filmed late last year, or maybe right before the pandemic had broke out and everything. But yeah, that was like the most recent stuff that he had did and everything. So, hey, well, look, 98 years old, that's a long time. That's a nice... I don't know why Google is doing that. Google just all of a sudden, I didn't even say any keywords there. That was kind of creepy there. All right, anyway, but yeah, rest in peace. Won't be another one like him. Kind of sad, man. Kind of fucking sad. But all right, so much. How do we end the show on that? Kind of not really a Debbie Downer, but I hate ending the show on a Debbie Downer. But it's not like, I mean, look, seriously, 98. I mean, he lived to almost be 100 years old. He didn't get taken out by COVID. I mean, that's pretty good, right? I mean, so you can't feel totally bad. Does it suck? Yes. I mean, it does. Especially, but isn't that the way of life? Shouldn't it be a case of, if you live long enough to have kids, shouldn't it be a case of you, the parent, you go before your kid? I mean, so you can't feel too bad. That's a nice long life. So that's it for now. We got another show that's going to be coming up this weekend. We're going to be doing wrestling and topics. We're going to be diving into a lot of fun topics on that show, wide ranging. We're going to be going all over the place. So make sure you tune in for that one. I promise you it will be awesome. I guarantee it. And let's see. Meantime, be kind, rewind. Check out previous episodes you might have missed on demand and on the downloads. Can I give a shout out to one of our sponsors before we roll out? Definitely want to show them some love. Check out, you comic book fans, you comic book lovers out there, So Fan Comics. Again, So Fan Comics. They got all your hookups as far as comic book needs, pulp culture, figures, posters, all of that. Check them out when you guys get a chance. Wrestling with the topics, I'll be getting with Tammy. We're going to figure out when we're going to be doing that, but it will be this weekend. I don't know if it's going to be a patron exclusive. I have a feeling it will be, because we still owe a piece of content to our Patreon members. And I think to kick off July, that's probably what we're going to do. But I think we're going to do two versions. I think we're going to do one unique Wrestling with the Topics just exclusively for our Patreon audience. And then we're going to do a free-for-all version that you guys will be able to check out. So keep tabs on that. And other than that, your next edition of the RCWR show will be coming back Monday night. I'm with you guys again, riding the saddle Monday night. Now that I got these my refinement trays broken in, I'll be with you guys Monday night, July 6, 2020, after Raw goes off the air. You can get at me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Use keywords, the RCWR show. And one more time, if you're checking this out via YouTube, please hit the like button. Lets the YouTube algorithm gods know you enjoyed the content. That way they can recommend for other people to check out. For those of you that's going to be celebrating the 4th of July holiday, happy holiday. To each its own. Me personally, I am going to be looking at ways where I can get involved in some protests and some other stuff. To each its own. But whatever you decide to do, hopefully it's enjoyable, it's safe, and you'll be okay. But what's really so happy about 4th of July? A lot of shit going on in this world. I'm sorry, but being in front of a grill, chicken, burgers, hot dogs, that's the least thing on my mind right now. I'm sure I'm not alone in those sentiments, but teach its own. Till next go around, wishing all y'all to be safe. Most importantly, be kind to one another. I will see you guys next go round. Adios, y'all. Take care.